All right, are you ready for day 2 in our form and function series? We are focusing on the legs today for our weighted set. We also have a little bit of a high intensity set we're going to be hitting up today with some Tabattas. And then I just have one heavy kettlebell that I'm going to be using for my weighted leg sets. But we are going to start off just like we did yesterday with some really focused core. So let's go ahead and get some warm up going. We're going to start by gearing up the wrists and forearms. So just come to your hands and knees, spread those fingertips nice and wide. Shoulders are right on top of the wrists. And I'm going to have you sit back on those heels and then bring the shoulders as far up over the fingertips as you can. So go ahead and engage through the back, wrap through that core. Get your mind kind of set. Decide what you want out of today. Even if maybe motivation isn't top notch right now, it'll start building possibly. So kind of just get the heart rate pumping, that core engaging. All right, come as far forward as you can, hold a second, and then go ahead and lean to the right and lean to the left. When you're on your hands, we want to make sure that we have a nice big even spread through those fingertips, and then your weight distribution is even throughout the palms as well. So in order to do that, because we have a tendency to push a little more on the outsides, kind of that pinky side of the palm, I'm going to have us focus on our thumb and first finger push. So you really want to focus there as you're planking or down dogging or whatever else with those hands on the ground. Get that push through the thumb and first finger. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the fingertips back toward our knees. And then just sit back on your heels a bit. Think about still what's going on in the rest of the body. Slide those shoulder blades down. Let's bend our right elbow and then the left, right and left. And then take the hands up. Go ahead and shake them out first. Give those wrists a little bit of a break and a relief. And then we're going to put the backs of the hands on the ground. So fingertips facing those knees, backs of the hands down. Get that little stretch there. Perfect. All right. And then roll through the wrists. And let's get our legs warmed up. So we're going to go ahead and come back up to standing. Let's just go with a little march in place. Get the chest nice and tall, belly nice and strong. Just do a little bit with the legs here and get a little more opening and ready to go through the core set. So chest is up. Go ahead and engage through that core, the torso and the trunk. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Level off your feet and let's sink into a low squat. Maybe you need to shift side to side first, so let one heel rise and then the other, getting that little bit of movement. Rolling side to side. Okay, and then plant your hands, come on up, forward fold. Shake through those legs. Keep the chest lifted up off the ribs, sliding shoulder blades down. So really kind of try to keep that back nice and long most of the time. Spread your feet really wide. Hinge to one side and then the other. All right, so we are going to start off with a down dog knee pull. We're going to go 2 sets of 10 each leg. And the core round, we're just going to go through once. So make it count from the get-go. I'm sure you always do. We are going to hit up a downward facing dog. If a down dog doesn't work for you, or maybe the down dog does, but once you get into a plank with the knee pull, it's too much on the upper body or the wrists or whatever else, then just stay on your hands and knees, engage the core, and I'm going to have you lift that leg back and then tuck under and pull towards your opposite elbow. So the right leg would push back, core always strong, back is nice and flat, and then you're going to tuck over to that opposite elbow. So even though you might be a little tighter, if something's in the way, can't quite get that knee all the way to the elbow, give it your best shot. Give it your biggest pull, biggest contraction. We really want to build the core and get those deep interior muscles going. We want to have that strong core for the function of healthy everyday living, twisting, moving, everything else that we're doing going on in life. Okay, otherwise, join me in your downward facing dog. Press into that thumb and first finger. Bring those hips up and back. Slide the shoulder blades down. Grab through the core. Lift your right leg up nice and high. Then shift forward into a plank and tuck the right knee to the left elbow. All right, so we're going to go 10 on this side, 10 on the other. We'll count this one as 1. Bring those shoulders all the way up. Feel like the core is facilitating all the movements. 4, pull those elbows back toward your toes. Strong left supporting leg. 8, engage through that core. 9, and then you get a lot more work into that right side as your knee pulls over. Okay, we're on the left side. 10 here. 1. I like to exhale as I pull myself forward into my plank. 4. 5. Feel like the hips and the core are pulling the body back, so it's not sitting in your neck or your shoulders. 8. 9, grip through that core to pull the knee forward. 10, back to that other side. Straight in. Take a little break if you need. Otherwise, let's just keep it going. 2. What are you here for? 3. Why do you think the core is important? 5. 6. Extra flex here means it's going to be more strong and stable and work hard for you through everything else for the rest of your day. 9, helps you sit better in your car seat, other side, or your office chair, or walk better. If you have a job where you stand a lot. 3. 5. Feel a little work through that upper back we got into yesterday, for sure. I love feeling that back. Such a good support system. 9, get those shoulders all the way up over the hands. And 10. Well done. Okay, we checked that off. 2 rounds of 10. We're going to go into a glute bridge. If for some reason a single leg glute bridge doesn't work for you, just keep both legs on the ground. Go through all the counts with us. Otherwise, drive those hips up. Again, connect through the core. Squeeze your knees toward one another. We're going to lift one leg. Pull it as far back as works for you and your flexibility. And then we're going to drop the hips and push, focusing on keeping that toe going straight up and down that leg to grab through the core. All right, this is 1. 2. Try to keep that pelvis level and even. You're going to feel that glute and hamstring, which are such a huge part of stability in your posture and your stance. Get it a little warmed up. Our leg sets later as well. Can you keep that core contracted, surrounded, wrapped, engaged? Here's 10. All right, hips stay up. Set that right heel down, left leg lifts. Get that leg as straight as possible. When you push, Make sure you're not overarching that low back. So it's not just about getting the hips really high and putting pressure on that low back. Something to really watch here. 7, 8. So I still want you to think about your core first. 10. Other side. We have our 2 sets of 10 again. You got it. Quick scan of the body. Check in. Relax the jaw. Relax the neck. 4. Grab that core. Chest is up. Try not to collapse there. 8, 9, 10. Something about getting this leg straight up instead of parallel to that other thigh. Just needs a little more lower abdomen. So find that. Get the burn you came for. Think of in terms of getting stronger, more balanced, quicker, conditioned. All right. Lower those hips. Hug your knees into the chest real quick. You're going to stay on your back and we're going to go into a heel press. So hands can come down onto the ground. Bring the legs up as straight as you possibly can. There's a chance you're a little tighter than me, so the legs may be a little further out. So the goal here is to find that low portion of the abs. So you really need to find your pelvic floor muscles. We're doing 1 set of 20 reps here, a heel press, pushing those heels up toward the heavens. So we're just barely pressing the heels up off the ground. And the goal here is to not use momentum. Find flexion through those low core muscles. Super deep. Ab grab all the way around. And really big core connection. Low. You don't need to get high. Try not to swing those legs back toward your face. Focus where you want it. 14, 15. 19, 20. Makes a big difference to set in and focus where you want it, where you need to be grabbing it low and deep. All right, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. Get into the legs, but still really using that core function to build some power. So we're going to do a power lunge, still just body weight. So you're going to take your right leg back, left leg forward, square off the hips, and your legs are hip width. As you drop your right leg down, we're going to hold 3 seconds, right arms up, left arm back, and then you're going to charge that right knee up into the chest as you switch your elbows, as you switch those hands. But again, facilitate that core, driving through the front leg. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then charge. If for whatever reason you keep your legs on the ground, just lunge up and down, or stand, maybe don't do as big of a lunge. Hold here, flex in, then tuck. That's fine. Work from the core. Focus there, shoulders back and down, so that chest is up. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Here's 3. Drive. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. When you're on the ground, traction between both legs. 8, 1. Drive. 9, 10. All right, other side. So traction, pull that front leg back, back toe forward. Other arm ready, set. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. You're getting more work. Drive. in that drop and hold. Grab that belly. Figure out what makes it a power lunge. 7, 3, 2, 1. Drive with power. 3, 2, 1. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Whew, okay. Shake the legs out. One last little set through the core. We are going to do a side plank with a leg extension. So if you want to keep your knee on the ground, go for it. Knee can stay on the ground. You can lift the other leg from there, or you can join me with your elbow down in a full side plank. All right, so we're going to go 10 twice each side. 1. Open that chest. Find your core. You're going to see how much more that strong core facilitates strong movement with the legs. 8, 9, 10. Other side. Flip it over. Get set. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw around that torso. 8, 9, 10. Other side. Tuck it in. 1, 2, 4. Should be tougher this time. 8, 9, 10. Leg feels like it's 200 pounds. All right, here we go. And lift. 1, 2, 3. Remember, drive through that core first. 8, 9, 10. All right. Hinge back. Let's take a little child's pose. We're going to hit up a little Tabatta set before we start our weighted leg sets. So Tabattas are 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest for 8 rounds. Starts a little crazy, but don't worry, you'll get through it. So again, please start with that strong core. We're going to go plank jacks. So you're going to start with a squat, and then you're going to stay, not plank jacks, sorry, squat jacks. Stay in your squat, and then you're just jumping jack those legs in and out for 20 seconds. Work for your break. You can make it. Jumping doesn't work for you. I'm actually going to have you pulse. So sit low, flex into those inner thighs, and pulse by focusing on that isometric contraction through the thighs. Pretend you've got a tug of war, pushing the knees apart, pulling them together. All right, ready, set, and go. Strong core, lifted chest, and make sure that your knees still line with the toes. It'll be nice to not have to count for a little bit. Time. All right, shake it out. Be thankful for your little break. 3, 2, and go. Gotta watch that core. Don't lose your low back. Stay as low as you can. Time. Round was a little tougher. Still good. 2 down. 6 to go. Ready? Go. You got it. First in the core. I know the legs are going to feel it. Sure they are. Time. Whew. You got it. Ready? Go. Find your focus. Just stick with it. Find your push, your effort, that ledge. Get into it. Whew. Made it halfway. 3, 2, and go. Check in with those knees. Stay wide. The toes, wherever those toes end up, keep your knees there. Time. Whew. Little heart rate. Go. Belly strong. You can kind of see how low my hips are, maybe this way. Oh. Whew. Last two, friends. Last two. Here we go. Tighten that core. Tighten that core. Try to stay low. Wherever you start, try to stay there. 3, 2, 1. Ready? Go. Come on, hang with me. Oh. Woo, good job. Nice work, nice work. Done with that for a while. Okay. All right. Okay, grab that weight. We are going into regular range squats and then sumo squats. So goblet squats. I hold my bell high, goblet up in the chest. Keep that core going super strong. We're going to do our 2 sets of 10 of each of those. You're charging, doing great. All right, let's hit it. Bring that bell up. Dumbbells are totally fine. Hold them on the shoulders or between the legs. Here we go. If you have a bar, you're going to use a bar, that's fine. Okay, so 3, core first. Knees and toes line up. Sit your hips back. Back, sit the hips. Drive through the heels. And I want you to feel glutes. Give me 3 more. Feel glutes, core. Hamstrings too. Outsides of the legs. Great, but I want to try to get away from quad dominant squats. So you're going to sit the hips back and down. Sumo squats. Wider. Your bell stays down on the ground or toward the ground instead of up in the chest. We need squats to help us lift heavy objects, to give us power with the rest of the body, and to keep our back happy. A lot of us have dominant quads. As I was saying, glutes, hamstrings are weak. We sit a lot. Core, we don't really use our core for much function throughout the day, so we've lost that. So without that core lock and strong glute, strong butt, then we lose that strength and stability that we need for the low back. So that's what we're going for right now. Legs are nice and wide. Get your knees open with the toes. So my toes are at a slight angle, and I'm digging through those heels. Shoulders back and down. Drive up. Again, focus those glutes. Check the core. 5. Do you remember how we wrapped it for everything else? 6. At the beginning. Stay there here now. 8. 9. 10. Okay. Also, with your weighted sets, feel both sides of the move. Like we did yesterday with our back, try controlling the flex. Check in with the flex, your own self flex first, then add that weight mentally, and you get a much better mind and muscle connection, and you're building the right muscles appropriately. Sit back, feel like the heels are screwing into the ground. 3, check your core. 4, sit it back. 9, 10. All right, here we go. Chest is up, knees come wide. Trying to keep my chest really from dropping forward much at all on these wide ones. Grab that belly button back, wrap all the way around the core. 6, 7, 8, 9, come on glutes, 10. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to shift into deadlifts. 10 regular deadlifts, and then 10 wide. Let's talk through it real quick. So, as I was saying, for lifting things, heavy things, you need those glutes, hamstrings. However, I would say that not very many of us are going to hinge down with a strong enough core, back, but really honestly have enough range of motion in the hips to get all the way. Pretend you have a heavy couch washing machine, right? How many people or times have you heard lift with your legs? And then they tell us to get in that squat and then lift, right? I mean, I think I could lift from here, but it's going to be tough. So generally the hips are going to come up first, right? The back has to stay flat. Now what are you doing? You're deadlifting. So honestly, lifting dead weight, moving furniture, boxes, groceries, whatever, children, it's going to come from a deadlift position. Shoulder blades slide down. You've got to wrap that core. So feel like you have, what did I say the other day? Vacuum, that you're vacuum wrapping something, right? So we have our plastic bag around the torso, the trunk, from the mid torso all the way down through that low pelvis, and then also from the pelvic floor. And it's pulling together. So if you exhale, you feel it all tighten in together, and that's what we're going for. Have to have a strong core with a deadlift. You have to have a flat back. So depending on how flexible you are or aren't, then only go so far as you can keep your upper back flat. So if the shoulders start to round and the upper back rounds, you need to stop, reset, go body weight or light weight, build the back. So you got to get your back strong, flexed, held together here. And then you have to keep that core so that as you hinge forward, you're not losing your low back and the pelvis swoops, right? So neutral set, toes right underneath, or heels right underneath your hips. Your knees are always soft. Shoulders back and down, core locks in. So as you hinge forward, you're hinging from your hip creases so that your pelvis can stay neutral with the shoulders. Now then, wrap your hands around your weights. You can hold dumbbells, that's fine, outside, in, straight across, a barbell. Set into the upper back, grab the core again. We're going to screw those heels into the ground, pop up to the top using the glutes. Knees soften, back lengthens, lifted chest, wrap that core. There's 3. I like to inhale down, exhale up. Knees soften, lengthen through those hamstrings, then grab and drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to take our legs just a little wider. Not super wide, just a little wider. If you have a regular style yoga mat, generally it's just going to be about that width. So the edge of my mat is right along the inside of my foot. Everything else stays the same. Grab that core, pelvic floor, upper back. Drive through those heels. So my back, I can feel it from yesterday. So you should be too. You should be feeling that work we did yesterday set us up for a strong back to get through your strong lifts today for the legs. Remember, we want to drive through those heels. 7, lengthen through that back. 8, shoulders stay down. Okay, back to your regular deadlift. Toes straight ahead, belly strong, knees soft. Focus those glutes. Hinge from your hip creases. Remember, try not to let your low back over sag. So or sag at all. As you hinge forward, keep that pelvis neutral, right? As opposed to dropping, so your tailbone is winking up. Have it extend straight back. Belly, butt, and upper back. Okay, here we go. Wide deadlifts, hinge, flex. Tighten through those glutes. Envision your weight is much heavier than it actually is. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right. Get rid of your bell. Take a nice wide stance. Hinge those hips back. Drop your hands to the ground. Good. Lengthen through the back. Kind of hinge your hips to the left. And then hinge your hips to the right. And then we're going to lower all the way down into our yogi squat. So bring your feet just a little closer together. Hinge it low. Push those elbows in to the knees. Lift the chest. Great job. I know right now it might feel like We're not getting a ton of reps, but you should still be feeling a lot going on, especially if you just came from the 30, 20, 10. I mean, even for me, a little mentally, like, oh my gosh, you only got 20 total reps, but hopefully you're going a lot heavier. You have the capacity with either what's available to you weight-wise or, yeah, you've just got that option. That would help a lot. All right, let's lie on our backs. But I also really want to take the time to think about staying form focused, especially as we start this series off. Okay, we're going to go into a figure 4 stretch. So take your left foot, cross it on top of your right knee, interlace your hands behind the right thigh, flex both feet, draw deep into the chest. And I would also challenge you, if you get through a set and you don't feel that challenged or wiped, heart rate didn't come up that much, you're not that sweaty, to go back, revisit the set, figure out where you could have engaged deeper, gone slower maybe, challenged your range, kept self-flexion. Okay, drop your right foot and then grab behind your left leg. So either behind your calf or your thigh. If you have a strap or towel, feel free to grab that to help you stretch. Drop that left hip down into the ground. Push the back of the knee away from you. Pull that left toe down toward your shin. I think there's a lot to learn from a lot of different voices and experts in the health and fitness and exercise field. And then, as you've probably noticed, depending on how long you've been with me, I kind of like to float a little bit of everything in. All right, you can release that leg and let's hit up the other one. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Interlace your hands behind that thigh. So sometimes we're going to go a lot lighter weight, lots of reps, sometimes heavy weight, light reps. But right now, I think it is really important to just slow down and engage. Focus on both directions of the move. Make sure that we're functioning safely and healthily and understanding how important setting into, okay, let's get that hamstring, setting into proper form and patterns of movement keep us going. Our knees will be happier, hips, backs, shoulders, elbows, wrists, ankles, and feet. We have 2 big muscle groups underway for this week. It's fun to throw in the Tabatta today. Okay, let's enjoy a little twist. So extend your left leg long. Push your right knee over to the left across your body. Put your right shoulder out on the ground. So you should be able to connect, or the goal is to connect the right back of the shoulder into the ground as you're pushing that right knee toward the left. So a good stretch through that mid back. We forget it a lot, but it also needs to be stretched and stay mobile. This is a function that we use a lot in our everyday life. All right, switch. Grabbing dishes, putting them in the dishwasher, getting the paper behind from the printer. All right, push your left knee over to the right, left arm out straight away from you. Drive that left shoulder into the ground. Push your left knee toward the ground. Lengthen the body. Grab that core again. Just gently find your core awareness throughout your day. It's not something you only engage when you're working out or running, exercising. or lifting heavy furniture. All right, reach those arms way overhead. You're flat on your back. Engage the thighs, flex the feet, reach, reach, reach. Grab the core, flex into the back. So find your wrap there. And then slowly tuck in, bring your chin in, those arms up and forward. And we're going to take our forward fold over those legs. So remember, you want to be able to lift the arms, lift the back up nice and straight. As you exhale, fall over those legs, reach your arms nice and long. Just let them fall wherever. All right, I think a nice little twist from seated will feel good. Twist to the left, twist to the right. Great job. 2 days down. Starting off super solid. And I'll see you tomorrow.